Let's begin our fourth unit in international business. So the unit is called as International Marketing Intelligence. So as the name itself says, we're going to talk about a lot of marketing information that is required when a company is moving abroad or the when company is involved in international trade. So the contents that we'll be covering in this chapter is marketing intelligence, what's information required, what are the sources of information, international marketing information system, IMIS in short it is called, and lastly the marketing research. So let's begin with what is a marketing intelligence. It is the information relevant to companies' marketing activities gathered and analyzed specifically for the purpose of accurate and confident decision making in determining market opportunity, market penetration strategy, and market development metrics. So I've broken down this entire meaning into tiny words. So first let's understand the first word that I've underlined. It says information. So when we talk about marketing intelligence, we are talking about information. What kind of information? Information relating to companies' marketing activities. So what are we going to do under this topic? We're going to gather data or information that is relating to all kinds of marketing activities. And then you gather the information or collect them, and then what do? You analyze. What is the purpose of gathering all these information, analyzing? It is for the purpose of accurate and confident decision making. So every day in our lives, we ought to make a decision, correct? So even for companies, every single day, they need to make choices or decisions. And these decisions will determine their survival in the market. Therefore, all this information is collected in order for companies to make wise decisions or accurate and confident decisions. In determining, so what is the output of decision making or the whole process of intelligence is to determine market opportunity. That is, where is the next market or which is the next market that I need to explore as a company, right? Which next country or which next part of the world should I start my new branch of my company? So I'm going to understand the opportunity or look for market opportunities. Next, I'm going to check for market penetration strategy. So, and then I identify a particular market, let's say country A, B, or C. My next target is how do I penetrate? That is, how do I enter this market? Therefore, I need to study the market, right? After studying, I need to understand what are the tastes and preferences, what are the income and saving habits of the citizens of that particular market, and so on. So I need to prepare a strategy in order to penetrate into the market and market development metrics. So it's not just about entering, you also need to survive in the market, correct? So therefore you need to continue to grow your market, which is called as market development metrics. So thirdly, you'll be focusing upon how do you grow your company's market share in a particular country or market. Clear? So hope the meaning of what is marketing intelligence is clear. Now, generally, that's about a general meaning marketing intelligence. Now, moving on to an international level. What is an international marketing intelligence? IMI. It is the process of acquiring and analysis of information. So, what is IMI? It's a process. Okay, what are you doing under this process? You're collecting information, you're analyzing information, right? But now, here we are talking about not just a local market in your city, but here we are talking about international market, right? So your focus here is upon both the existing consumers or customers who buy your product and the potential customers. What do you mean by potential customers? Potential means those who are not your customers and therefore you want to attract them, or therefore you want to make them your customers. Okay, so your focus is upon the existing customers so you do not lose them out, correct? And also, how do you attract more number of customers? Why? To determine the current and the future needs. Is it very important? Right? It's not just all right to meet your current needs of your customers. You need to ascertain what is the upcoming challenge, right? What is the upcoming, greater need that the customers may face. You need to determine them. You need to evaluate them and find out what exactly do they require in the future. Attitudes and behavior of the market. Now we all know market is very volatile. Not talking just about the stock market. Market can be with respect to textiles, petroleum, or vegetables, farming, or medicines. It can be market for anything, automobiles, IT. Any market out there is changing every single day, right? So therefore the behavior of the market will also change. The attitudes of the market will change. Simply means the players in the market or the co-competitors in the market. And to assess the changes in the international business environment. So on a whole, I'm going to assess or I'm going to evaluate what are the upcoming changes. How do I have to update my company or update myself to the changing business environment? Correct? So today we have, how can the banks, just an example, how can banks make profit or bank make enough amount of money, right? It is by giving more amount of loans. It's not just by giving loans, it's also about the loan being repaid. Only when the loan is getting repaid, the bank will make profit, right? If you're going to have bad loans or doubtful loans, then again that becomes a extra burden to the bank. Now, company called Cred. I'm sure all of you have heard this company Cred. During this IPL season, I think we have seen lots of ads of Cred again and again coming in between, right? That was a good strategy though, in the time span that they promoted their company. So what does Cred do all about? It's going to give you a credit rating. Yes or no? So it will enable you to use your credit card up to a limit. So what is this facility is making? It is forcing people to purchase even when they cannot afford it right now. So today I cannot afford a TV, but yes, I have an option of purchasing through credit card. So what am I doing? I'm estimating the future needs of customers and introducing a concept called as credit card or credit score. Got it? So through which customer also gets a good credit score, right? And the bank also is having a continuous financial transaction. So this example I'm giving you in order for you to, how does the information help you to assess the future needs and be prepared. Let's understand what are the information required for international marketing. The first information you need is regarding your competitors, right? An organization needs information about its competition in the international market on a continuous basis. Yes or no? Competition or without competitors, there is no competition, right? So you have players or you have manufacturers in the same industry, right? It can be automobile, pharmaceutical, IT, right? So many other industries. So what are the information relates to? Relative market share of competitors. Now we usually assess, right, which company has largest market share in a given industry, right? In automobile, let's say Tata has the highest market share, or in terms of IT, let's say Accenture or JP Morgan has the largest market share, right? We talk about it. Likewise, you need information according to what? Relative market shares of competitors. Because every company out there is aiming to be a leader in their respective industry. Yes or no? In food industry or in FMCG industry, let's say Britannia must be leading, or in automobile, Tata must be leading. Every company is striving to be the number one in their own industry. Next, new product moves of competitors. It is very, very important. I don't know if you have ever observed news channels, right? Whenever you're going to listen to a news channel, you can see the person reading the news. Behind that, I don't know, very few channels that you can see, the news boardroom or behind that office, there's going to be many 10 to 12 TVs maybe. Each TV will be playing each different news channel. It can be different language, okay? Not necessarily Kannada means all Kannada channels. It can be different language, right? They'll be playing simultaneously the news channels of their competitors, right? In order to understand what is the next move, what is the next product they're launching, what is the next service they are launching, right? Is there any decision about the price reduction or rising of price, etc.? Pricing and cost structure of competing firms. As I just mentioned, we always need to keep a check about the pricing, because if our competitors are going to price below our pricing of product, then all our customers are going to shift to our competitors, isn't it? And also we need to keep in mind the cost structure. That is the cost of manufacture for a particular product or a service. That also we need to be considering with our co-competitors. Next, we have image and brand reputation of the competitors. Image and brand reputation, which is very vital for any company, whether it is a small scale or a multinational, to survive in today's economy, isn't it? Every company is striving. Why do you see so many Zomato ads, Swiggy ads, or Dunzo, or the growing companies today on the TV? Everywhere you have this constantly. When you open your social media or YouTube, there's constantly these ads coming, right? They want to make known their existence amongst the other co-competitors, isn't it? So the image and brand reputation is also very vital for the survival of every company. So the more people or customers you're able to satisfy with your product or with your service, and with enough marketing abilities, then automatically the reputation is going to be a good one, right? So these are the areas where you require information related to competition. Moving on, we have information related to the product. An organization also needs information regarding its product or product lines to make product related decision. Now, after you have collected information about competition, moving on to the next one, product. What kind of information? Analysis of the users of the product, purchase behavior, factors affecting purchase decisions. Now, analysis of users of product. Now, over the period of time, if there's no if there's something new in your product that you launch every, let's say, 6 months or every 1 year, people will continue to be the buyers of your product. Otherwise, the customers will quickly shift their taste and preferences. Therefore, it is very vital for every company to have an analysis of what? The users of the product. From year by year, you can actually analyze how many sales are happening, how many people are actually using or buying my product or service. Purchase behavior. Is it high in certain seasons? Is it high during certain offers? Or is it constant throughout the year? So you need to understand the purchase behavior. Are people, or we can put it this way, is my sales increasing because I'm giving a credit option, that is buy now, pay later correct? These are my option. Or when I say only spot payment, there is no any credit allowed. Does that decision affect my sales, right? So I need to check my purchase behavior, then the factors affecting purchase decisions. So what makes the purchases increase or the sales of a given product or service increase? So we need information on these criteria. Next we have industrial and consumer buyers and influencers and their roles. So it's not just individual customers that we need to focus, we also need to focus upon the industrial buyers, influencers, right, and the consumer buyer. Now why do we say industrial buyer is because industries, let's say there are for automobile industry something called as ancillary industries who manufacture these small, the mechanical items, let's say the screws, nuts, bolts, right? They are also specialized in manufacturing these small items, without which, of course, the automobile industry cannot, get its finished product. Yes or no? So therefore, every industry is important, is in its own nature. Consumer bias. We need to understand this because every time a consumer purchases your company's product, if they are satisfied, it's a free reputation or it's a free, what we will say, promotion. Because once you're satisfied, don't you think, girls and boys, when you are happy with a product, let's say it can be a t-shirt or a dress or a phone or a service, let's say for an example, when you're happy or satisfied, automatically you suggest those products and services to your friends. Isn't it? Isn't that normal? Correct? So that is what I call it as free promotion. When does that happen? Only when your consumers are happy. So you need that information as well. And then we have influencers. Now, have you observed on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube on the social media platform where you observe these individuals? It can be girls or boys or they just use certain products. It can be, let's say, smallest as a perfume or maybe a gym equipment or let's say a restaurant, right? Food in a particular restaurant, etc. They try these products or enjoy certain services and give a live review. Now, how does this impact as an information? When you're trying on the product or enjoying the service and give a live review on the media, that itself reaches to millions of people, isn't it? So that becomes a great source of information for people who are, upcoming to buy the product, or you may, based on a review, they may, feel like trying out the service. The next says purchasing power and intention of the buyer. Now, purchasing power depends upon the income or saving habits of the people. Some people prefer branded products, some people prefer the local products, right? So, every consumer or every customer is unique and different in their choices, right? Some will purchase only when there are offers. Some purchase because it's a good time or it's a bad time or it's a festival time. There are certain times that they decide to purchase or to have lots of purchasing power, isn't it? So it directly depends upon their standard of living, their income and saving habits, and what is the intentions as well. Switching behavior of customers. So any customer, be it like you or my own self, right? I can switch from company to company depending upon the availability, or I'm not happy with the quality, or I just like the ad on the TV, that's why I'm going to buy the product, and so on, right? So my behavior as a customer can switch very, very quickly. And India being the second most populated, we have so many brands, so many companies, and so many people to buy our products. So it is very, normal for people or customers to switch their taste and preferences. So you also need to analyze and be careful to always keep your customers engaged. Role of credit in purchasing a product. Now we all are living in a credit world. Can I use that word? We all are living in a credit world, which means to say that we are live on credit. Everything that we buy and enjoy today is on EMI basis, isn't it? You do not have to make the complete payment today. You can enjoy the product and the service right from today if you purchase, but you do not have to take up the burden of complete payment thanks to all the EMI options, right? Or zero down payment option that we all are switched to the credit based purchasing. So this is the second point where the information related to a product is being considered. Moving on to the third one, we need information related to marketing mix. Marketing mix related information is essentially where it's needed by the marketers to decide and implement marketing strategies. Now, here we're going to talk about aspects relating to channels of distribution and their functions. Remember, guys, we are talking about marketing information not just in a city or a locality. We are talking on an international basis, correct? So, therefore, we are going to understand what are the channels of distribution, okay, or and their functions. Now, is it directly from now, because we have lots of online purchasing today, not just phones or dresses or textiles. We are even ready to make our grocery shopping online, isn't it? For an example, this big basket, right, which gives grocery services door-to-door delivery, right? Now the channels of distribution is completely changed with respect to the changes in our market or economy, right? So we need to understand on an international level how can this impact, right? And then advertising and promotion. When you're talking about international level, you need your competition to be even more tough. So you need to be prepared to be constantly advertising or promotional activities to be active, as we just read here, consumers are going to switch from one brand to another. Therefore, you need to keep your advertising and promotional aspects continued. Then we have the service quality in international market. Now, marketing mix talks about everything, right? First one we spoke about competition and then product. Here we're going to combine all the other activities required in the business, such as advertising, promotion, logistic, transport, channels of distribution, services, etc. Right? So we also need to understand the service quality because each company, the way it produces or manufactures or the way it renders service may differ from company to company or the same company in locality A to locality B, isn't it? Because the preferences of people change, so therefore the quality of the service also slightly differs. And then we have lastly the international and domestic logistics network. Simply, what's the word logistic means? It's transportation, correct? Transporting of goods and services. Now, what are the various modes of transport? We have air transport because we're talking about international level. So we start with air transport, water transport, right? Road transport or postal services, isn't it? So these are the available options for transporting your goods from the place of manufacture to the place of consumption. So this is the third information related to marketing mix.